When and where were you born?
Hickory, Ohio, 1918.
And were you in any wars?
I happened to luck out on World War II. That was 5 years service. Starting in the field artillery and ending up in the Air Force. And 10 missions in B-17s over Germany were successful. The 11th didn't work out that good. I got over but didn't get back. So I spent the rest of the war in a German prison camp.
What was the greatest invention and or discovery in your life?
It's hard. There are so many. The electric light bulb and all the electric uses and the transportation, communications. Without the electric, we wouldn't have been into the automobile business and the aircraft. And as you look now, almost anywhere in the world, you can reach in a matter of hours, where before, back like in 1918, you were weeks and months away. You go on a slow boat to, say, Australia, and would be, especially on the Concorde, where they have like 6 hours to Europe. When we went over, we flew B-17s over to Europe, and we left Newfoundland at 10 o'clock at night. It never got dark, and we didn't get in Scotland until about 7 the next morning, and that was fast then. But coming home, it took us 7 days on a boat just to get back. And, but I'd say there are so many. Medicine is another thing that without the automobile or without the aircraft and the electric, years ago, and with this election coming up, they really never knew how people voted. They had these electoral colleges where these guys would go around and get all the votes, and they'd ride a horse into Washington and take them days and weeks to get in and find out who won the election even. But that's this last 80 years has really done more than the other 1900 years, whatever it is before that.
So like the automobile, you think would be?
Well, that would be aircraft, electric. It's pretty hard to nail it. Then you talk to somebody in medicine, they would say maybe medicine, which it is up there. When this country was moving west, the average lifespan was 37. And with the know-how we have today, it's, well, they're figuring on being 100 years old here before too long for, being kind of an average.
Wow.
And of course, I'm getting close there. I've only got 18 years and I'll be 100.
Okay. So you think that'd be the most important invention because now you can travel and information can travel faster too?
Well, it not only is a better lifestyle, especially when the first cars came out, you didn't have heaters and you didn't have air conditioning, and as you move along, you improve, and it's what it all adds to is the lifestyle we live in this country with all the convenience we have. Lord, without electric, you hit a microwave and your dinner's ready instantly. But yet you go over to Afghanistan up in the mountains, and those kids coming out like your age, their mode of transportation, the best and fastest thing they can go is a horse. And they live on the hillsides, and they have no conveniences. It's so rough. But as we count our blessings, they have so many things to be thankful for that added to the overall. And what it boils down to is your lifestyle. You don't go work 7 days and 7 nights and go to bed when it's dark. That's what they had to do too. They had no lights, and when the sun went down, that was it. They had candles, but they didn't stay up and watch anything because there wasn't anything to watch.
So, about the war, like, what did you do again? Like, what was your
Job.
like, when you got shot down?
Oh, I was a bombardier navigator on a B-17, and we flew out of England. And we were trying to destroy the war-making capability of the Germans, aircrafts, and that's primarily our targets were bombing aircraft factories, ball bearing factories, anything that kept the war moving. And the mission I got shot down on was the deepest penetration that day. Instead of 2 bomb bays full of bombs, we had 1 bomb bay full of gas to carry us there. And as soon as we used that up, we jettisoned that tank, and then we went over on the fuel that was in the regular tanks. And we went on in, and we were right almost to Poland. That was the deepest raid they ever got in on. We had no friendly fighter protection. The only fighters we had were the Germans trying to get us. And so we turned our trip home, and we got over off the coast of Denmark before we got shot down. So.
Okay. So, Denmark?
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
How did you get out, and what was the date that you got?
I'm going to tell you
in
first
prison?
how I got in. As I got picked up off the North Frisian Islands right out in the North Sea, they put us on a train and took us down through the Ruhr Valley, and we were taken to Frankfurt and interrogated. Then they spent the most of the internment in prison camp southeast of Berlin, near the Russian border there. And January in 1945, the Russians were closing in, and the Krauts were running. They had them on the run, and then they marched us out January 29th, 1945, and it was 20 below zero. And so we spent 10 days on the road, and then they finally we ended up in a camp called Moosburg near Munich. And Munich right now is where they're having that beer Oktoberfest. It's a little more festive now than it was then. So we were liberated then by Patton's tank outfit, and from there we made our way back home. Some of them were shipped out of France, and in our particular case, we had a plane from our group in England pick us up, and we arrived back in the United States late in June '45. We went to the Air Force for that World War I that replica deal, and my brother-in-law Bob Reed and I had to park a long ways away, and as we walked in, One of the first monuments we saw was my 351st Bomb Crew, a big monument with the triangle J, which was our identification on our plane. Some had square L's, and they were all identified, but our group was a triangle J. And, at this point in time, I think there's probably only about 6 or 7 B-17s left in the world, and they built 12,000.
What did you do when you got back from being freed?
Well, I had spent 5 years in the service, and when I got back, I went to General Motors School in Flint, Michigan for 2 years, and then I started my own used car facility. Uncle talked me into going in business with him on with new Buicks in 1949. So the next 37 years I spent selling new Buicks.
What's your favorite kind of car?
Well, since Dan sells 10 new different kinds of cars, I change weekly, sometimes daily. But as long as it's convertible, it's all right. Right, Ash? Yeah. So, but to get to the favorite kind of car, it really, really is a Cadillac. And they're so into electronics, and it's like when they first come out with cars, no heaters and no radios and everything. Now, every year we turn around and get something new in. We you can talk in the headliner, and voice command will tell what you need. If you're, I have the OnStar system, you call the headliner and say, I want to go to Cincinnati, and tell me how to get to the Masonette, and they say take 75, go to 5th Street, turn left, they'll walk you right into the door. If you lock your keys in, they unlock it by satellite. All you have to do is pick a phone up anywhere, you can call OnStar. If you were to be impacted, somebody hit you and your airbag went off, instantly they'll have 911 there. They know right away that you have a problem. And, but now we also have the little road identifiers you take with you. It's ground positioning is what they call it. And if you drive from here to Florida and you're driving through Tennessee, all you have to do is put that little TV screen up and it shows you just where you are. And each year it seems like you get more and more stuff on. So, and the Cadillac leads most of them. And they also, with all the other advantages, they get exceptionally good gas mileage and performance.
How does the automobile affect your life or change your life or make it easier?
Well, I just happen to be one of millions and millions because the automobile created a different workforce in this country. Before, most of it was agriculture. You had farm crops, and you didn't have a need for much, but now very, very few farmers can feed the whole world, and we have so many people working in the automobile industry and supplying all the necessary items in the car. And aircraft the same way. It's the aircraft factories, they are way behind, like years behind. They just need more aircraft.
many brothers and sisters did you have?
Well, our family, we had 3 girls and 5 boys, and all 5 served in World War II. And in all the, Chuck was flying B-24s, I was in 17s, and Fred retired as a colonel from the Air Force, and he was in many different kind of aircraft. And in all the places and everything all over the world, I never saw a coward. Saw a lot of guys afraid, including myself, but I never saw a coward like our president that we have today. And the liar like Al Gore that spent Vietnam, he was 300 miles back to the front and said he heard bullets. Well, that's a long bullet. You can fly 300 miles. And, but I never saw a coward, and I lost a lot of good buddies. We lost a lot of aircraft, and you'd see them going down, chutes on fire or planes exploding, and it was just, but we came back to the United States, and all of us went to work, and it wasn't easy then like these people have today. You'd work 6 days and 6 nights a week and not think anything of it. You didn't make a lot of money. But we, in our family, we all spread out, and like in our kids, like Dan, we got 3 of them through college, and Dan didn't have to go because he was already in the car business, and it didn't take him long to own 10 dealerships. And he had college, but he did it on the side by himself. Every opportunity where he could, he went to see if there's anything that he could learn. And, but only in America that there are still such opportunities, and with this computer age, and the opportunities are just unbelievable.
Who were your mother and father?
They both were, their parents both came from Germany, but they were both born in this country, and but they both came from Germany. In fact, I know some of the bombs I had left over there had to be going someplace towards some of my old relation over there, and, with no malice aforethought.
So, what were your mother and father's names?
John and Ida.
How do you spell that?
EDA.
Just making sure. Okay, I think that's it.
Anytime,
Thank you.
just give me a buzz
Okay,
anytime.
thank you.
Nice talking to you, buddy. Damn, I gotta get moving.